Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Hi, welcome to Brown Veterinary Services. My name is Dr. Erin Brown, and I am your new local veterinarian to Monroe. We opened our practice at 2120 West Spring Street, Monroe. We are located in the Home Depot Shopping Center, so easy to find. We are your new local veterinary hospital. We see small animal as well as large animal. We also treat exotics as well as birds. We see lions and tigers and bears, oh my, as well. This weekend we are opening up urgent care for the weekend. The hours will be Friday night from 6 p.m. to midnight, Saturday and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. I'd also like to introduce you to our practice managers. This is Christina Craig. She is our day practice manager. And this is Cole Rogers. He is our urgent care weekend manager. So you'll be seeing these faces around. I would also like to point out that we are one of the only true mobile mixed animal practices in the area. We provide house call services to your dogs and cats, as well as to your farm animals. We are available Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 8 to 5. And we welcome you to our practice. So thanks.
2, 3, work. There we go.
Hey, I'm Brandon Whitfield, one of the owners of Game On Main. We just had our grand opening here in downtown Loganville, right across the street from Terra Argo's Will & Co. company and Maker Studio. It's the new white building underneath the new beautiful mural here in town. You can't miss us. The address is actually 258 Main Street. We do have parking right next to us. You can utilize any free parking in downtown within a 1 to 2 minute walk anywhere you park in downtown Loganville. But come see us. We got some of the best games. We got the duck machine is what the kids are loving right now. They get the lucky duck machine. You play until you win. Even my 2-year-old can win at that game. We also got some classics like Hydro Thunder. We got Mortal Kombat 2. We got our Galaga and our Miss Pac-Man set at a quarter, so you can still play like you could back in the 80s for a quarter. We got 3 awesome pinball machines. You don't see very many pinball machines around anymore, but we got 3 brand new ones from Stern. You can connect to them with your phone. You can play people all over the world with that Stern Insider Connect. But we have Deadpool, we have TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we got Star Wars. We got some awesome titles. We got the giant shooter game where you can, it's like really big Space Invaders. The kids really love that too. And it's also adults love it too. But please bring in food and drink. We welcome it. You can go to Toast It Up right across the street from us and bring it on over. You can go to Everybody's Nutrition, get you a loaded tea. Bring it in here, come play some pinball while you're drinking something or eating something here in our space. We want this to be everybody's living room in downtown Loganville. You have nothing to do today or tonight or this weekend, you can always come to downtown Loganville. We can find you something to do. Other than that,
what are your hours?
Our hours are, we open at 11 o'clock every day, Monday through Sunday. We don't know our actual closing time yet. Right now, we're going to set it about 9 or 10. Once we get some more businesses opening up at night, we're going to set our hours to meet theirs. For example, we're going to be sharing a building with tacos and beer. Hopefully, they will get done sometime soon, and when they're done and set their hours, say they close at 12 o'clock, then we'll set our hours to close at 12 o'clock as well. So please, come on down.
going with how many emitters do we have, okay? So the number of emitters and then the gallons per hour that our system flow is. So if we have 90 feet of drip line and they're 0.5 gallons, so half gallon emitters. So my drip tape I passed around those holes is half a gallon per hour. It's every foot, okay? So it's be 90 emitters times 0.5. So this is my gallons per hour flow demand. So if I need that to run 90 feet of drip line at 12 inches spacing, then I have to make sure when I measure my water source that I'm hitting that 45 gallons per hour, okay? If you're any lower than that, then you might have to separate some zones, okay? Ta-da! Okay. This is my garden. This is my first one. I've modified it, of course, since. But, so the main line, this is the poly hose running across the top, okay? And down each row, I run the drip tape that we passed around. All right, I need a volunteer. Anybody want to come connect a drip tape to a main line? Come on. Come on, come do it. All right. So I'm going to give you a small one. And this, poly hose comes like this. Do not, when it comes to the door, clip this. It will spiral out of control all over your yard. So just slowly uncoil it, because it is wily when it first gets unpacked. All right, so I'm gonna give you a main line, okay? And the little tools that they give you are like this for poking holes. All right. So this is the main line. I just laid it out in my garden, and I've got it all measured off. So on my main line, before I even poke a hole, I run and I either paint or put a piece of tape, put a little dot where the center of each row is, because you don't want to get that drip tape off center. Okay, you want it right down the middle. So I marked where I want my holes. All right, come on over here. You use that one since it's big. Okay. So see how there's a hole there? Poke a hole in that main line. Just push hard. All right. So, and then this is going to be your barbed, so this is a barb fitting for your drip tape. Okay? So, before you try and push this one into there, you want to connect it. So there's a twist adjustment there. You just are going to put that on there and twist it tight. So you're connecting your drip tape to your fitting. All right, twisting it on, twist it tight. Okay.
Is that supposed to spin?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. It's on there. All right, now the hole you just punched, you're going to poke your barb into it. Now that's the hardest part, because this hose is pretty tough and you want that seal to be good. So you got to really punch it in there.
The hole needs to be bigger.
Don't make the hole too big or else you'll have a leak.
When I was working with Ron one time, he said if you put that big main drip line out in the sun to get it soft a little bit, it helps.
When it gets hot, it'll get more pliable.
Yeah.
And when you are laying it out, I really recommend using garden stakes to hold it down. Like their landscaping paper stakes, this will hold it down real good.
This is not doing anything.
You just have to push harder than you even think you should, okay?
It's flattening that thing out.
Ta-da!
Okay.
All right. So, you've now connected your drip tape to your main line, okay?
Okay.
And you'll do this all the way down the line, all right? Now, we have our hose connected on this end, okay? This is a connector that goes from hose to 1/2 inch poly line. Now we have an open end, so we need to cap that off. So, really, really simple device.
Yeah.
You're gonna slide that on there, and then you just turn your end and cap it off. And it doesn't leak. I mean, it doesn't leak.
Nice.
All right. Now,
And then each of these goes down your road.
each of those goes down the road.
Okay.
Now, hold up this end here. So this is how I've capped off the end of my drip. I just tied it. That's the cheapest, easiest way to do it. They also have what's called end caps. I think this is one. Yeah. That someone else had. Where's that piece of drip tape that was going around?
Right here.
Okay. So you can also use one of these end caps that'll go on the end of here, and then you can twist this off if you need to blow out the line. Because these are tiny little holes, so there's a chance that if you have something that gets stuck in there that clogs the hole, if any of your holes are clogged, you can just blow out the line by taking off the end cap, okay? But that's as simple as it is to connect to the main line, okay? Y'all can do this, promise, okay? And just make sure you measure it out. Very good job, very good. I like to use a measuring tape like this in my laundry gardens. They're great, okay? We talked about main line. This is what I use here is a 1/2 inch. That'll run for 200 feet, okay? If you are only going 30 feet from your water source, you could use a 1/4 inch. I recommend the 1/2 inch. If you're going out in the pasture, you might need one of these. But for just the home garden use, 1/2 inch is usually gonna be your best bet. Timers, okay. You're gonna go through all the work of setting this up. Do yourself a favor, put it on a timer. Because it is such a slow thing that, I mean, I run mine for about 20 minutes, and if I don't have a timer on it, I'll forget, and it'll run for an hour, and then I won't have saved myself any water, and I'll have drenched my plants. So use a timer, and they have timers that are no battery, no power source, just mechanical. They have battery-powered ones, and mine, I'm the biggest fan of the Beehive one. Now, we don't get any sponsorship from them or anything like that, but they make a great product. So I use these Bluetooth, Wi-Fi connected timers, and they come with this little doodad that plugs in your house, connects to your internet. This is what talks to your internet that talks to your timer. And there's an app, and it's great. I've been on the beach in Destin and watered my garden. And it even, because it's connected to the internet, it knows, you set it up to know your location, it'll tell you the weather, and it'll notify you like, hey, there's a 50% chance of rain today, I'm gonna put your system in a rain delay. And so you can just say yes, or it'll just do it, or set it to do it. So it'll really take, all the thought out of it. And I mean, in August when my kids are back at school and I'm making lunches and drinking my coffee in the morning at 7 o'clock, I can hear it click, and like my water just turned on. I'm watering my garden right now from the house.
What a powerful feeling.
Yes, it is. You'll really, I mean, once you do one garden, you're going to want to do them all.
What's the cost?
Yeah.
So this one I think was running around 50. I think these are almost like 75. When these first came out, it was like $100 for one of these, but the prices come down quite a bit. So it's surprisingly affordable. The garden I showed you here, setting everything up in the beginning was less than $100. I mean, just the materials needed for this are pretty affordable. I mean, all these couplings and different things, they're never more than $1 or $2 a piece. These run like cents sometimes, depending on what you're getting. And if you get more, if you get 10 or more, the price goes down. So it's surprisingly affordable. All right, get to the end here and we'll do another little demonstration. Okay, so you got your map, now you made your list of materials, okay? So this looks kind of scary, but it's really not. This is just your tubing, your main line, your drip line. These are your elbows, your T's. Your coupling valves are where you're gonna, couplings, yeah. So over here, if you wanna have a coupling that you can turn off this one here and run this one. Goof plugs, just in case. and then your head assembly. And I'm going to need a volunteer to do our head assembly next. I pass this out to you. I got this from a University of Kentucky professor. He did a YouTube video, and I set up my first garden drip line from his YouTube video, which is no longer available online. I can't find it for the life of me, but luckily I took a screenshot of the schematic and I shared it with you. So this is a lot less scary to me, and this is straight what I did. I mean, to the T, how I ran it. These are the end locks that I showed you. We're putting on the end of the drip line to blow it out. The figure 8 pipe lock is this little connector thing that we capped it off with. These are the barb tip fittings that my friend so nicely put on here. Okay, and then this is going to be components of the head assembly that we're going to do next. Okay. So all of this here is going to be standard, and then the rest of those you kind of customize. This way. Okay, I need a volunteer to do a head assembly. Come on, who wants to do it?
I'll do it.
Come on. All right. So imagine this is our spigot, okay? So first we need our timer. Go grab yourself my smaller timer. There you go. Yeah. All right. Screw your timer on. Right on there. Yeah.
You know I'll make this one destroyed.
That's okay. And make sure all the, they usually come this way, but all the female sides of your connectors need a washer to prevent leaking. And they usually come with that. Okay, so she's got her timer. Next is our backflow preventer, which is this guy here.
So it goes here.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna have a screen filter. So if you're on well and you have a higher amount of sediment in your water, you might want a beefier filter like this. I'm on city water, and so the filter I have is just a little screen filter. Let me see if you can see it. So see, that's just to catch anything, any corrosion, anything that might come through in the water that would clog an emitter. So you don't want your emitters to get clogged. Those are really tiny little holes.
Oh.
Is that
Yes, we do. We do need education.
We get education. All right.
Tell our people.
Connect your screen filter.
Okay.
And then we're going to need our pressure reducer. So these components run off a pretty low pressure. If I don't put a pressure reducer on my system, it will blow these lines off. Because when I turn the water on, this will fill up with water, and the pressure will run all the way down the line and just slowly release water, but it will keep pressure on this. And these will blow off under too much pressure. So you do need a pressure reducer. So put that onto there.
Do you need to clean the filter on a regular basis?
I haven't had to, but everybody's water is different. So you just have to kind of keep an eye on it. I've never had a clog. I've never really had an issue. But, and then lastly, your adapter. So that's your main line going on to your head assembly.
Yeah. Yeah, you over there.
This will just screw like that. There you go. That's all right. Jeanette! All right, great job. Give her a round of applause. So that's not hard. It's just remembering the order, and it's all there on your sheet. You can, like on this schematic, you see where the garden hose fits in between. You can put that in between, and you'll be good to go. All right. This is what it is. All right. So now that we've got our head assembly, we've got all the materials we need, now we gotta connect it, okay? This is where my garden hose comes out to my underground garden. My dog photo bombs, and usually a kid or two, every picture I take of my garden. And they're all very enthused right now in this. So this is where my garden hose comes out. This is my pressure reducer. This is my main line. This is my drip tape running off. There's my barbed connectors. You all see that? It's kind of hard in the back. So I run those. I do a mounded bed. When I have irrigation right to the bed, I can mound it up and I don't have to worry about it drying out. I also, I'll show you the next slide, but I put sometimes landscape paper or mulch on top. So you can really trap that moisture in by mulching on top of your drip tape.
So you do this before you put your plants in, and then you're going to plant right next to that hose?
So yes, so I plan this all out. I lay it all out before I plant. So this drip line here, drip tape that I passed around, the emitters are at every 6 inches. Okay, so something like corner beans, they're a lot closer than 6 inches. You don't have to really make sure the emitters land on a plant. For something like okra, it's like maybe like a 12-inch spacing. What I'll do is I'll just crank it on for a few seconds, turn it off, pull up the tape, and you'll see a little dot, boop, 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 everywhere each one of those emitters is, and I'll just put a seed right there for something like okra or squash, something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It will seep in and spread, so it's not exact. But yeah, I lay it all out before I plant. This is a lot harder to try and go around your plants. For vegetables, if you're landscaping, then you'll be going around, but you'll be using this lateral line to snake in and out of everything. These are my raised beds. I should have used drip line instead of running my main line poly hose through. I just didn't. That was my first time and I didn't know better. So if you can see over here, there's little sprinklers. There's a sprinkler here, and here, and here, and here, and here. So it's a coverage of sprinklers that I have there. But yes, on that kind of drip bed, from experience, I would recommend the drip line instead of trying to do those little sprinklers everywhere. And you can see here, my garden hose connects at the bed. I can disconnect this to cut the grass and then just connect it back with the hose.
Could you bury that?
So the poly hose, you could bury that. I really wanted to run some underneath the driveway, but my husband said no. But yes, you could. You wouldn't have to do it very deep just to avoid, getting the mower or something running it over. Or you could bury some PVC, run it through so that way if you did have a leak or an issue, you would have that pipe underneath there just to run in and out. Check all your connections, make sure they're tight, make sure they're not leaking. If you do it the right way, you shouldn't have a lot of leaks. I only really had leaks at my goof plugs. And with your head assembly, you gotta make sure the first thing in your connection is your timer. That's what is meant to be under pressure all the time, okay? These are not meant to be under constant pressure, just this one. So you're gonna have to keep your hose turned on all the time for this timer to function, and it's made for that, and it should not leak. Make sure you have washers in all your female adjusting points on your connectors, and the backflow inhibitor that we have that keeps the water from the garden coming back to your house, that's the only thing that might drip on occasion, and that means it's doing its job. So if there's negative pressure and the water comes back, it will release it out of that little skirt there. So if that drips, that's normal. Anything else shouldn't drip at all, and it's just hand tighten. Don't use a wrench. You'll break this plastic is not real strong.
Megan, how many years have you had this one in?
This one, 4 or 5. I have folks online say that the drip tape is only good for a couple seasons. I've used it going on 5 years. If you're not, I wouldn't walk over it like I do the poly hose, but if it's just down the center of your rows, you don't walk on the center of your rows anyway. So the drip line for me has lasted longer than it's supposed to. In this case, I use the landscaping paper on top. Now, different vegetables have different water requirements at different stages. So like this would have been a bean row or a pepper row, but here I had my tomatoes, and instead of trying to turn the valves on and off and run just the tomatoes, I did a double drip on my tomatoes. And I just turned on both drip lines when they got big and needed the water. And tomatoes do really great on drip because, you know, if you overwater tomatoes when they're ripening, they'll split, they'll get that rain check. You can really, really get that water just right to your tomatoes. And that each one is getting the same amount of water. So yeah, I had a double drip there, and I could turn it off when they were little and turn it on. That's what it looked like under the paper, the double drip line. And a lot of commercial growers will do that too. And then enjoy. So once your plants grow up, you won't even see your irrigation anymore, right? Okay. One thing, y'all really weren't a big volunteer group. I did want somebody to come and do a sprinkler. Does anybody want to come and do a sprinkler? Come on. Twist trees. Yeah, come do a sprinkler. Come on. Each sprinkler comes with this little connector connected to it that okay, fine, I'll do it. All right, so when you have your little micro sprinkler, this one is a 360 flow, and it has a plus and minus, so you can turn it off, or you can turn it just to drip, or you can turn it into a full fan spray. So where I need my little tool, I'm going to punch a hole in my main line. Okay. I'm going to take my connector, but before I connect it, it's always easier to connect the hose before you punch it in there. So I'm going to take my micro tubing. This is my lateral tubing. Okay, that connects to that. That goes into my main line. Okay, we got that on there. And then lastly, I take my sprinkler, that little barbed end, fits nicely into here. Oops. And I get it twisted to get a good fit. All right, so then that baby's ready to go. And in my garden, I run this main line on the ground under my pine straw, and I'll run, maybe 5 or 6 feet of this tubing up to my hanging baskets to do those little sprinklers that I have for my hanging baskets, like that. I just kind of hide them in the bush, or I can staple it up the posts that my hanging baskets are on. So y'all can do it. All right, I think that's all I got. Again, you can find the PowerPoint online and take questions. Anybody want to come up and try it? Look at all my toys over here.
Do you have a recommendation for a kit to start with?
Rainbird is in the big box stores.
Yeah, and they're awesome.
So those are a good way to start. The way I buy my individual pieces, I like dripdepot.com. They are great. They have a great YouTube channel that explains how to use every single one of their from the tiniest little connector to the sprinkler to the drip tape. They are great, and they've had everything I've ever needed to find.
Drip what?
Dripdepot.com. Yeah, they're not sponsoring us or anything. It's just my own experience. It's a good place to find everything. Somebody asked me, can we find any of this at Home Depot? You can find a few pieces of it, but everything you need is not going to be in one place in your big box stores unless you get a kit. Otherwise, you'll have to go online to a wholesale irrigation supply company, but they really make it pretty user-friendly.
Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, the Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And I wanted to come on today to share a few things that we have going on and invite you all to attend, sign up, and then a couple of things that our partners have going on in the next coming months. So, we are having our next collaborative meeting on April the 15th. And yes, that is tax day. I'm sorry. But you can take a break from that frustration and come collaborate with some of our partners. The location is here at the Board of Ed Annex. And if you need more information about that, just give me a call or email me and I can tell you all about that. If you have a program that you're doing for families and children of Walton County, we'd love to hear about it. Here at the partnership, we share resources, we network, we do a lot of different services, but during that particular meeting, all of our partners come together and they share events that are going on, and we're able to share that in a newsletter that is done by our very own Tisha McRae, and she does a wonderful job with that. So we'd love to have you come and share about your organization. If you have something going on at your church, we'd love to hear about that. But again, I'll give you my information at the end of the filming. But we'd love to have you. And again, that's April 15th. And we offer that via Zoom or in person. And that begins at 8 a.m. in the morning. So the other thing I wanted to share that we have going on is putting on the hits. This was the lip sync battle last year. That was our first annual. We're going to make this an annual thing, but that was our first event last year. It was a lot of fun, and if you're watching this and you're from the Monroe area, then you know it was a lot of fun. The Bridge of Georgia kids actually participated in that, and they were the winners last year. So we would love to have groups sign up to participate. We need performers. So if you have a group, you can sing, you can dance. They are going to have a rehearsal one night, so we would love to have you contact us if you're interested in that. And the date for that is going to be April 18th, and that will be at Monroe High School. And if you remember, they used to have, in the past, putting on the hits at Monroe High School. So we want to bring that tradition back. So if you're interested in that, let me tell you who to reach out to. You can reach out to Tisha McRae, and her, sorry, my papers are sticking together this morning. Tisha McRae, and her direct line is 770-207-3174. Or email her at waltonyab@gmail.com. So if you're interested in purchasing a ticket to come watch the event or performing, like I said, we're still seeking performers. Please reach out to Tisha at either one of those email address or phone number. So we'd love to have you participate. And also, next week there will be a job fair, and that will be at the Boys and Girls Club. And from what I understand, there will be lots of vendors there. So if you're looking for a job and you want to go find out what that's all about, that is March 25th from 9 until 1 at the Monroe Boys and Girls Club. And I would just suggest that you show up and you might walk away with a job. So we would love to hear from you if you have questions about resources in the county, just need some guidance on some things. Please feel free to give us a call. And we have started receiving calls for summer camps for this summer. Yeah, it's March, but parents are already looking for places to send their kids this summer. So if you know of any summer camps going on, if you would just email me that information so we can share it on our email list, our website, our Facebook page. We want to get the word out to parents so they're not struggling trying to find a place for their kids to go this summer before it gets here, because it will be here before we know it. So with all that being said, let me give you my direct line and my email address. My direct line is 770-207-3175. My email is Dena, that's DENA, .Huff, HUFF, at walton.k12.ga.us. I know that's a mouthful, so I hope you got it all. And again, it's always a pleasure, and thank you for watching.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful and the Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Staying busy here at the center. Looking forward to some of our Earth Day events coming up. Just to run through those really quickly. There is a recycling day in the city on Earth Day. That's Tuesday, April the 22nd. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It will be right there at the City Hall in Walnut Grove. Come on out and see the students there. This was all sponsored, and the whole idea was brought up from some of the Walnut Grove Elementary School third graders. So this is kind of their idea and their baby, and I'm going to be there, and really want to show them support for coming up with something so important. I think they're going to be collecting cardboard, plastics, aluminum cans, things like that can be dropped off there at City Hall. Like I said, we're going to make sure we're there helping them out. All of the recycling collected will be brought here and processed. Really a good thing that the students there are doing, and again, we're going to make sure we're there to show them some support. The other thing we have right now, I want everybody to remember, we've gotten a lot of calls about a shredding event. We still don't have anything scheduled here at the recycling center. We're working on that. We are going to get that done. But on Saturday, April 26th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the City Hall in Loganville, we're partnering up with the Loganville Lions Club to do a shredding event there at City Hall. There is no limit on the paper that can be brought in, so come on out to that event. If you've got any old sensitive documents that you don't want to just put in a regular recycling bin, you want to make sure it's shredded, it's the perfect opportunity to do that. There's even a camera on the side of the truck where you can watch your documents being destroyed. They typically have like documents of destruction to guarantee, or certificates to guarantee that those items are being taken care of properly. If you have any questions, give us a call out here, 770-267-1421. Be happy to answer any questions you have about the event, and just be patient with us, and we are going to get one scheduled for here at the recycling center as well. That just had a hard time working that out with the shredding company so far, but we will get that done. Another reminder is we are one of the few places around the county that take mattresses. Just wanted to remind you that those mattresses, we take those for $10 each. Right now we do have a limit of 2 per customer, whether it's 2 mattresses, a box spring, and a mattress. We'll only take 2 at a time. We simply don't have enough space, and we want to give everyone ample opportunity to get rid of the mattresses they have. The other thing to remember is, when you change out your mattress, just don't go sit it outside and let it get rained on or chewed on. The mattress does need to be in at least fairly good condition. These mattresses aren't just buried in a landfill. They're actually stripped down and reupholstered, and we have to have them in good working condition for the company we work with to accept them. So just make sure they don't have to be perfect by any means, but they also don't need to be soaking wet or burn up. They can't have holes, all the way through them. So, try to keep those in fairly good condition so we can take those from you. And like I always do, come out to the center. Let us show you what we do here. Let us help you get started recycling. There's no better time to do it than this month. This month is Earth Day, and I hope Earth Day is this month, and I hope that all of you will at least take a moment out of the day to sit and think about how important it is that we're good stewards of our planet. We only get one, and there's a lot of small things that we could all do that help. Some of the last studies shown that were done had shown that nearly 50% of the items we throw away every day are completely recyclable. And if you know, like I do, how little landfill space we have and how quickly these landfills are filling up, you would know that we really, that half the stuff there could be recycled is really just, it's terrible. We could make that landfill last twice as long as it's going to last. So just think about some of those things, some of the small things. I know we're all super busy, but there's little bitty small things we could do to help out, and at least find one of those things that we can start doing to help. Give it some thought, take note of Earth Day, and let's all attempt to do just a little better. Again, give us a call, come out and see us. Be happy to get you started recycling, talk to you about any environmental concerns you have. Again, our number is 770-267-1421, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Jody Johnson, and I'm here with another recreation report. We are in the spring program time of the year, so that means our baseball and softball, we started last Saturday. Our soccer and our track teams are all starting their programs, and we're really hoping for some good warm weather for them to continue participating in all their athletic programs that are going on now. You will see in the near future our fall registration. Some of our football and cheerleading starts registering early. We have to run that for 6 weeks based on our guidelines through our North Georgia Youth Football League. So you might see some of our fall registrations will be going on along with our summer registration, which is our 2 summer sports programs that we run are our youth volleyball and our summer basketball. So those 2 programs and our football and cheerleading registrations will be going out soon. So look for those. We usually send them out through email through the schools, so every child will get it, and then we'll go on to our city rec. So if you played in our programs, you'll get an email on that as well. We've had a lot of construction going on here in the Parks and Recreation as well. We keep expanding. There's more people moving to Walton County, and so we need more parks. With that, we've got pickleball courts that are going up really all over the county. I know the city of Social Circle is constructing their own pickleball courts in Social Circle. We're adding on to the Ayers Park. Most of the concrete parking lot additions are done, so we'll have a total of 12 courts up there in the near future in between at Ayers Park. We're also in the starting phases of adding 12 more courts at Loganville, right behind Meridian Park. So look for all those new areas to come in. The courts at Criswell Park, now we have the 4 on the outside and 4 on the inside. If you'd like to be a member of the inside courts, that'll get you an access card. It's very inexpensive. It's less than $50 for the remaining of the season, which runs through July, until July 1st. And then we'll have a new season after that. It's a great 4 courts on the inside. They're not overcrowded right now, so it's a great place to go and play. The times are a little iffy again. They're from 7 in the morning till around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, and then we also have it on Sundays from 10 to 4. So if those times work for you and you'd like to play indoor pickleball where it's heated and cooled, obviously there's no wind like there are most days in March and April, so it's a great place to play. We are in the middle of doing the indoor courts at the Nowell Recreation Complex, where we'll have 7 indoor courts there, and those times will be pretty much 7 days a week once we get those completed. It should be done within the next couple of months, where we'll be able to play pickleball in there, and then when basketball's going on during our summer season and our winter seasons, obviously basketball will take precedence over the pickleball. But other than that, those courts will be available all the time. So we've got some good registration going. We're currently in our spring season. We have a lot of construction going on all over the place. We're still working on Walnut Grove. That park is really moving fast, and we look to be in there at the earliest on the softball complex by September, maybe. The rest of the park will be completed by the end of December. So by next January, we'll have all of those programs going. So until next time, thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. Our elementary show is wrapping up as Paul is taping me today. By the time you see this, our middle and high school show will be in the gallery. It will be a combined show this year, and we've got I think 4 middle schools and 5 high schools coming in for the show. Be a nice big full show, and it's a lot of really amazing art. So please do come visit us for that show. It will be opening, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. And I thought I'd mention real quick something maybe I haven't talked about before, or maybe in a while. The Artistic Support Shelter Support Group that we offer for people who have lost family members. It's led by Donna Kaufman, who many of you know, and know that she lost her son, Christopher, about 2.5 years ago. And it's a really meaningful group. They meet once a month. You come when you can. There's no set thing you have to do. You just come when you can. And Donna's goal for that group is community. It's always one of our first goals with pretty much everything we do here, is to create a safe space and community for people to be able to talk. But she also gives people tools to distract themselves when you have those runaway thoughts or obsessive thoughts or depression and grief that can take so many forms. So she gives you ways to distract yourself, to kind of derail those thoughts into something creative. And it's been a huge help to her personally, and it's a huge help to others who have participated. It's free. The only thing you need to do is RSVP with her, and all of that information is on our website. Her email is donna@monroeartguild.org. It's all on the website because that's a lot to remember. But it's once a month, and it's held on the 4th Thursday of the month in the evening. So think about that, or share that information with somebody that you know that's part of our umbrella group of our healing arts programs, and that includes the Art MD Healing Art Kits. It includes our art therapist, Gracie Bondi, who works individually with people, Artistic Shelter, Donna's group, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. Art X, which is our special needs class. It's a weekly class for young adults who are special needs young adults. So, and then of course we have other special needs outreach classes and workshops, kind of when they come up, when they're needed. But keep us in mind, we do a lot of really good things here. More and more I think of ourselves as the little art center that could, and we do. We do so much good in our community. with our outreach and the things that we do that are either free or at a very reduced cost to people who need it. So go to our website or come in and visit us and see what we're all about. We have lots going on all the time. And please don't forget our 2 spring events that are coming up. We call them Welcome Spring with us. We have the Garden Party, which is the first event, and that will be at Sparrow Grove Manor, and that's on April 26th. And then on May 10th, which is Mother's Day weekend, we have our garden tour with 8 different stops, special speakers, giveaways, a benefit plant sale that Growers Outlet is doing for us, and Dr. Alan Armitage will be there to answer your plant questions. At the garden party, Matt Ramos at Plant Sensations here in town will be there talking about gardening and plants and how they enrich our lives. But we'll have lots of really great food, wine, dancing, music, a silent auction to benefit us. That's all on April 26th. So come in and you can go ahead and buy your tickets, the early bird tickets, end March 31. So you've got just a few days left to get your tickets at that discounted price, and you save a little bit of money if you could buy tickets to both events, but you can choose one or the other. You don't have to come to both. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Hey, this is Kason Howard with Walton County 4-H. I'm excited to talk about our summer camp coming up. We have plenty of spots left for cloverleaf camp, so if your child is in 4th through 6th grade, we'd be happy to have them sign up for camp. We're going to Rock Eagle this summer. Going to be a lot of fun things going on there. We also have a lot of exciting things that are going to be happening at our office this summer. So we'll release that soon. And if you have any questions about 4-H, please give us a call at 770-267-1324. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Isaac with Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip. Again, I want to talk about a little bit about security. One thing I want to talk about is like checking your bank account transactions or your credit card transactions. And I personally don't do this a lot, but I do, every other month or every few months I'll go through and just look and see what kind of transactions are coming through, especially if you do like auto pay on things. So there's been a few times where I've looked at my bank accounts and been like, well, I have no idea what this is. And I'll call the bank and they're like, oh, we don't know what it is either. And so we'll have to, usually I have to go down to the bank and be like, okay, well, let's figure it out. Like, where is this coming from? And it may be a process that they can do right then, or maybe a process that takes a couple days. And I'm trying to remember, there was a time or two where we had to figure out where it was coming from. We had to call that company. And I want to say once it was something that shouldn't have been there. And that just comes from me checking, what's the stuff that we sign up for, or something we might accidentally sign up for on the internet, or, something on some web page somewhere. It can be something as easy as your email, and there's a little ad on the side, and you accidentally click on it, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this, and then they're getting you for your $15-20 a month or whatever it may be. It's important to check those things. And again, I know it's kind of tedious or it's a pain, but I have found that it's been worth it. The other thing too that I want to talk about kind of in that same realm is phishing. So, and not phishing with an F, but phishing with a PH. There's lots of scams out there. You can get an email, and that's really the biggest thing about phishing is an email you might get. And it might look like it's from somebody you know, and it's really not. It may even be like a company you work with, but it's actually not. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll put like one letter in there that'll be different, or there might be like a hyphen in there, and I'm talking about from the email address. Or it may just be somehow that they can do like one uppercase letter, just stuff like that. It's easy to mimic an actual email address that you're familiar with. It could be somebody you're like, hey, look at this picture, and you click on the link. It's and I've only ever seen it be like a link. So you click on the link and then it takes you to some website, or it just automatically downloads something and you don't know that it's doing anything. It's doing all this stuff in the background, and then they're on your computer, whoever they may be. And it could be a year before they mess with you, or they may never mess with you. A lot of times what'll happen is they'll get on your computer, they start looking at your stuff, they watch you get on your bank account, they watch you look at your credit cards. They can tell what you're typing in, stuff like that. So the biggest thing is, if you suspect anything, don't click on it. Call that person or call that company. Hey, what is this? Or if you accidentally click on it, you need to take it to a shop like us or whoever, and have them look at it, and explain what you did and what happened. Another big one with that is if you let anybody on your computer and you're not familiar with them, or you don't know who they are, or there's lots of fake websites set up like HP. There's HP is not doing it, but there's fake HP sites that get people all the time. They come in here and they're like, oh, this is a site I went to. Well, that's not an actual official HP site. Did you let somebody on your computer? Yes, we did. Okay. We need to wipe the computer. There's no other way to fully fix it. So just be careful of the whole phishing thing. One other thing on the phishing thing I want to touch on is you could just be on the internet and accidentally run your mouse over something and something downloads. Or you can run your mouse over, you don't even have to click on it now. You just run the cursor over, something on some website, and it can actually be a reputable website, and then something flashes up. This is Microsoft, call da-da-da-da-da. That's a scam. Don't call the number. Do not call the number. You turn your computer off right away, boot the computer back up. If it's gone, you're okay. If it's not gone, again, you need to bring it to somebody like us, let us look at it, see if we can fix it. Well, we can fix it, but see what it takes to fix it. But anyway, that's it. Isaac with Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip. Come check out our computers. We sell new and used stuff. We also do repairs and all kind of stuff. Thanks.
All right, crew, let's get started. Kurt?
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference.